A minute ago, you said something about the anti-war candidate.
Hmm.
You're speaking about Ron Paul.
Yes.
Is he the only GOP candidate that is anti-war?
Mitt Romney has given his mark as the Massachusetts moderate that his GOP contenders are trying to brand him with. He has not really said either way, pro or anti-war. He's espoused the general GOP line of, we want to make sure we don't step down before the Afghans can step up, being that that's our only engagement now. And he is very much for a transition of power on the best American terms possible. And that is in stark contrast to Ron Paul, who is honestly questioning the wars themselves, the legality of it, and the U.S. mission of being in any country abroad is very, very disconcerting to him. And so it's really two very, very diametrically opposed stances.
How do you see that working for each candidate or the GOP in general?
Well, it's always been the label that the Republicans have been given. Republicans don't fall in love; they fall in line. Once the Republicans have nominated somebody, that's the guy, and that's probably what will happen with Romney. You may not believe everything he believes personally, or you may not find his politics to be the best brand you like. But when it's Romney and Obama, your GOP primary voters are always going to come home back to Romney. They're never going to, sit there waffle. Well, maybe I'll go back to Obama, especially with the primary. The general, it will be very interesting because actually that's what the Romney campaign has been making a point of from the very beginning was the electability issue. Over a Newt Gingrich, Rick Perry, or Rick Santorum, was that he would be the most likely winning challenger to Barack Obama.
So do you think that Romney has a better chance, what you're saying is,
Mhm.
to beat Obama in the election versus all the other candidates? They don't stand a chance or
Well,
less of a chance?
actually, from the Democratic perspective, and the Republicans have been bringing this up too, it was that you have two schools of thought. You have the moderate, the let's paint Obama, let's call his policies, very far left, only appealing to, the very fringe of his party, and let's put him off to that side and say, here, we're in the middle, and hope that appeals to a great number of people. And then some of the more rock-ribbed conservatives, the Rick Santorums, the Rick Perrys, and Newt Gingriches are saying, if you put a moderate up against what they would say is as a far left candidate, you will lose because what you really need to do, instead of saying this man is on the far left, I'm in the middle, you need to say this man is on the far left, I am on the far right, and paint very clear and concise
I
differences,
see.
and that they believe that is the quickest way or the most effective way to garner support, polarize the electorate to say, okay,
Right.
left take your group, right we'll take ours, we'll fight for that same 10% in the middle that we always
Mhm.
fight for, and let's see who has the better message. As in when you're the moderate in the middle, you're going to lose some of your very, very staunch right wing supporters, and the belief is you were never going to have the left to begin with because they already have their perfect candidate. They're more the candidate they prefer more, and so then you're stuck in the middle with your 10% and your 35% of your Republicans that didn't leave you, and that's not enough to win an election.
Well, it sounds like when it comes right down to the wire, playing nice isn't necessarily a good thing in politics because you do need to kind of get in there and, as you were saying, get gritty.
Very much so.
So that people really know where you stand
Well,
and you can polarize.
Yes, and this is the first election since the Citizens United Supreme Court case. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
No, I'm not. Tell me about that.
Citizens United came out. It was actually during the 2008 campaign.
Mhm.
It was a super PAC, Super Political Action Committee, had released a movie, like a full in theaters theatrical release, stating Hillary Clinton's life and times and record, and it was not very, very gracious towards Miss Clinton. So Hillary Clinton's representatives went to court arguing this is an attack ad, be it disguised as a movie or not. It went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled that to limit amounts of money given to candidates, or even just if I wanted to personally finance a movie, that is free speech. Money is equal to free speech. That I can spend as much money getting my message out there as I'd like because my free speech may not be infringed upon. So what this has done is this has created a group of people who are able to donate unlimited amounts of money to a group who is no way connected with a candidate. They have names like Priorities USA, the Red, White, and Blue Coalition, one's for a Better America. I forget they're very ambiguous titles. And for example, a super PAC that supports Newt Gingrich just received a $5 million contribution from one gentleman named Sheldon Adelson. He's a casino owner in the Nevada, Las Vegas area.
So is this a backdoor way of promoting candidates?
Exactly. And the beauty of it is when this attack ad for Mitt Romney or Rick Santorum comes on and says things that may be patently false, may be inflammatory, patently false, what will happen is at the end, instead of Newt Gingrich saying, I'm Newt Gingrich and I support this really mean message about Mitt Romney, it just says at the end, paid for by the Red, White, and Blue Coalition. You don't know who that is. And actually, it's provided the perfect cover for candidates because it's against election law to coordinate with them. So if I have a super PAC that supports me over here and I'm my candidate over here, I cannot talk with that super PAC because it would be coordination and it would be a federal crime. So this PAC over here is doing pretty much what you want them to do without you telling them. For example, if I were to appear before in a diner or at a debate and say, well, I think Newt Gingrich is this, that, and the other, and I'm Mitt Romney saying it, his super PAC's going to pick up on that and say, oh, he must not like what Newt Gingrich is doing. Let's
go make a movie.
Let's grease the wheels here. Yeah, let's go. For example, in Iowa, they spent $3 million in campaign advertising, a pro-Romney super PAC. Again, this is not Mitt Romney. This is just a group of people gathered supporting Mitt Romney, collecting donations that have no maximum amount of money, and also they don't need to publish their donor list. That gentleman, Sheldon Adelson, which I just mentioned earlier, he publicly said he did. He said he did the campaign, or the super PAC, confirmed that he did, but in all actuality, he didn't have to tell anyone. And so that's one gentleman with $5 million and perhaps maybe a stake in the messaging that's sent. So it's very interesting. This is, again, the Supreme Court decided at the end of the 2008 election, so this is the first national scene in where they're used, and it's really doing a lot of very interesting things.
If you see any of those, send me the links for them.
Oh, I definitely will. They're all over. I'll gather up a good group of them and send them to you.